You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Killer Women After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Killer Women After Show.
Yeehaw! Hello, AfterBuzzers. My name is Oriana Leo, and welcome to the Killer Women Season 1, Episode 4, episode The Siren. We are talking about all things Killer Women. Welcome to your after show. And joining me tonight is Sarah Huggins to my left.
Hello.
And to her left are Candice Buenrosto.
Hello.
My fabulous ladies. We're missing Chloe tonight, but we wish her well. So, ladies, Episode 4, The Siren, we have a female serial killer that comes to Ranger Parker's town. I can't believe all of the crazy ladies that show up in this town.
I know. With tight dresses.
With tight dresses.
She was my favorite, I have to say. Carmen was my favorite one.
Your favorite villain so far?
Yes, so far.
Why?
Because she was the prettiest, I think. That's just a very vapid reason, but...
I like the red dress color. She was
really?
my favorite.
Oh, yeah. The original.
Mm-hmm. Very dramatic.
Yes.
Well, what we find out about this killer in the beginning is that there's a John Doe found that is bald, has no eyebrows, and no eyelashes.
And what was the deal with the nails? I couldn't quite... Were they just pulled off?
They looked like they were pulled off,
mangled?
but I think the point was that it looked like no blood had pooled in the extremities.
Right.
Meaning this person... they hadn't really set into rigor mortis.
Right.
So they had been killed somewhere else and then moved into the position.
Right.
And upon further inspection, it's a Jane Doe.
Right.
And not a John Doe.
Yikes.
Yeah, yikes.
Didn't expect that.
No. It's definitely a little odd, right?
Yeah.
And especially even the choice of clothing.
Right.
You know, it was kind of like cholo style.
Yeah, she looked like a chola.
Yeah.
I was like, where are her hoop earrings?
Yes, right. I totally agree with you. And we see that Molly recognizes this case, or at least the style in which this body was left, and kind of starts digging up a little bit of dirt.
Right.
Now, we see also that Dan, in the very opening of the episode, you know, Dan was shot. It turns out Dan was not shot nearly as badly as we might have thought.
And Dan was hit with a BB gun, pretty much.
Yeah.
It was
Which I thought was kind of cute.
Me too.
It added some levity to the situation.
Yeah.
But I also thought it was kind of silly to juxtapose Dan getting nicked in the arm and then bringing him over to the family's house and like leaving.
He did have a concussion.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even. Maybe I have a concussion because I totally missed that.
That's why they were doing all the brain exercises
that's right.
and stuff.
Oh, with the cleavage-worthy nurse.
Right.
Right? Making sure he stayed awake.
Yeah.
I must have missed that because I didn't understand. I'm like, why isn't she just going to his place? Why?
Well, that's what I asked during the show. Why wasn't Molly just spending the night at his place?
Okay,
to
so
take
now
care
this
of
is
him?
making sense to me. So she's leaving him in a supervised home.
I see.
So that someone is there to... But she doesn't even think... Molly doesn't even think that he's at risk.
Right. Which
I don't
really
think any of
wasn't.
us think he's
No.
at risk.
Seemed fine. He
Yeah,
was
a little
dancing
manicure.
later.
But juxtaposing that experience of him being like the family man with her... Molly spending the day investigating a serial killer... It just made it seem a little bit far-fetched.
Yeah.
You know
she
what I
was just
mean?
kind of like, okay, you're fine here. You're going to stay with my brother and his daughters and his wife, and I'm going to go.
I'm going to go. And then in the meantime, I don't think they even shared one phone call.
Yeah, they did. One.
Uh-huh.
One, and remember he was like peeking at her stuff, and
Oh,
the
yes.
little girl saw.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And he asked what she
Someone
was
was
wearing.
paying attention. Hello.
Yeah, you were paying attention. He asked what she was wearing, and she said just her Stetson. Okay,
Yeah,
I remember now.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Still
And, like,
weird.
But at that point, she was like, oh, yeah, some stuff is developing. Some stuff is developing. Meanwhile, this whole story unfolds in one
Right.
day.
I did think too, like I thought I had this one totally predicted, but I didn't expect, we don't have to jump ahead, but I didn't expect for what happened to happen.
Right.
Totally in the way it did.
So we see our Jane Doe, and there's another case in Kilgore that looks like just like this. You guys, wait, I'm trained in forensic hypnosis.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy. I was like, all of a sudden Molly knows how to.
How believable do we think it is, fans? I don't know, that the ranger is trained in forensic hypnosis. She got a crutch, car, and cinnamon out of that hypnosis of the Jane Doe. And I kind of took offense to it because I thought that if that's not like harebrained crackpot investigating, I don't know what is. I got car, crutch, and cinnamon.
I know. It turned out to be very valuable information.
It did, but at the time, it kind of made me feel like this is not making us lady rangers look too good.
No, not at all.
And then Dan and her brother are having this like man bonding time.
Right.
Sure is nice to have another man in the house with their
with their painted fingernails.
With their painted fingernails and shooting guns.
Can we talk about it's Billy, right? Who's the brother?
Yeah.
Can we talk about his he had to take some outside work? Like, is that supposed to be shady or what?
I don't know. I am feeling conflicted about it.
Yeah. So his wife finally confronts him and is like, "You're cheating on me." You know, like, I can't believe you're not into this. She's wearing like this like really skinny small dress and like
this isn't good enough for you.
Yeah.
I'm still on the brother side. I'm on his team.
Yeah, but that sounded so shady. He was like, I had to take some outside work, and she's like, "Oh, okay." I'd be like, what kind of work? Like, who are you working for? What you doing?
Sure. The conversation ended right there, like as if okay, instead of well, where are you? First, what kind of financial trouble are you in? Are we in?
Right.
First of all,
They shouldn't question it.
Right.
You're married.
Second of all, what kind of work exactly? What is it? What are you doing out
Maybe
there?
she was just so happy that he wasn't having an affair, or he had a different excuse. Like, I guess she was ready for him to just be like, "Yeah, I'm cheating on you," you know.
Well, that's what happens with us women when we make assumptions or we tell a story in our mind that we're so convinced that the story's correct that when we get other information that doesn't match our story, that we have to kind of throw it all away. And it's like, oh, he's not cheating. You're like,
yeah,
no, not exactly. We don't know that he's not cheating. We just know that her story, her version was incorrect.
Right.
That's all we really know.
I don't think he's cheating. I do think, I mean, he's doing something shady. Something is happening.
What's he doing?
Outside work. I don't know. We could have a male prostitute on our hands.
Ooh.
It's Killer Women.
He could be doing drugs.
Be dancing on a bar.
Dancing.
Yeah. He could be like Chippendale style dancing. I wouldn't put it past the show.
He's very handsome.
He's very handsome. I wonder if we'll find out.
I don't know.
I hope we make it that far.
They didn't really make it a big deal this episode, but I feel like they made it a bigger deal in previous episodes.
Well, here's the thing too. They don't really get to the point that he's the one that hired the party planner for the quinceañera. Like, if they're having financial problems,
right.
Why is he doing that? And did he take on an extra job to pay for the quinceañera? Like, we're not getting a lot of information here.
No.
So we can only guess. And I don't know that the show was asking us that much, you know, if they're expecting that much. If they are expecting that much from us as the audience, to really figure it out.
Chippendales. I'm going Chippendale style dancing.
I like that idea, and I wouldn't mind if he took Dan with him.
Oh,
and we got to see a male review.
Has anyone else noticed that they look alike?
I know,
so
they look
similar.
exactly the same.
It's weird.
It is a bit weird.
You're like, Molly, why are you dating your brother?
Right. Yeah. And then, you know, sometimes when it's like, I have to do kind of a double take and be like, oh, wait. You know,
well, they
that's
both
Billy,
have light
that's Dan.
eyes, right?
Yeah.
So it's
same hairstyles, like,
both tall.
same build.
White guy.
Yeah, both white.
They're very
I mean, they're
similar.
both smoking hot, so keep them, but I just... yeah, it's a bit confusing.
What did you guys think when we get introduced, but when we see Carmen the first time, when she's in
singing on
Pappy's
stage?
shack or whatever?
To be honest, the first second we saw her, I didn't really notice her. I was like looking around the bar, like wondering why the bar was significant. Mm-hmm. But I saw her singing, but I didn't think she was our killer.
Buenrosto.
As soon as she opened her mouth, she was talking about the victim. She was so concerned. I was like, I knew it. I was hoping, but she was just too concerned. Like, oh, really? Are they okay? Yeah.
My first thought was when she pulled up to offer Molly a ride. I was like, what is she driving? Is it an ice cream truck? Like the
rape van.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Like, what? That's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Like, you would think that a killer would be a little bit more incognito.
Agreed.
A girl like that does not drive a windowless van.
Well, I feel like Killer Women thus far, they haven't really... We pretty much know our killer is obvious every time.
Every time. Hiding. Wait, no, not hiding in plain sight. Just plain sight.
Right. It's not supposed to be a mystery,
right,
I guess. But yeah, so it totally makes sense. I didn't expect it like when we very first saw her singing.
Maybe that's the telenovela side to it.
Yeah.
I think it is the telenovela side. Mm-hmm. Like, they introduce the character that we know is the villain, but you have to kind of like the villain, or at least have more action with the villain.
Yeah.
So when we see Carmen take her to, first of all, Molly's supposed to have spidey senses. Like, she's the female ranger. She has her female intuition. Okay, maybe that helped her with her hypnosis.
She broke so many rules.
She broke so many rules getting into the car with her after you can tell she seriously thinks about it and is like, no, I'm going to stay here with the car and get a tow. She doesn't listen to her intuition and gets in the windowless van with the traveling club singer.
And then realizes that they're not going where she said that she was taking her to
they're
Austin.
going to some
They're making a stop.
They're going to her grandma's house. So she goes and she gets to meet Abuela.
Well, and she goes in the house. She makes another mistake. She goes in the house, and Carmen locks the door and is like,
she just stands there. It's like, call backup.
Yeah,
I have to lock the door so the wind doesn't open it.
It's like, okay, that sounds legit.
Yeah.
No. Then she goes up the stairs, which is like horror movie 101 you don't do. Mm-hmm. Because
she broke every cardinal rule.
Yeah.
And that was kind of... We were watching it going, no. Like, what are you doing? You're disappointing us.
There was a second when I thought the grandmother was in on it and she was going to, like...
Me too.
Just whip out a gun or something.
Her crutch.
Right.
Her cane.
Yeah. I did.
But so she doesn't. She just prays. And so we learn that the grandma has been extremely ineffective in protecting Carmen from the horrors that she has experienced. And, you know... Our lovely protagonist, Molly, goes to visit the boyfriend of her mother in prison.
Oh, right. Who's creepy as hell.
Really creepy. Ew. He's already hitting on Molly Parker
he checks her out
when she gets there. And he explains the whole situation the way he sees it. That, you know, that little girl was just a vixen. Gross.
Ew.
What she know.
Yeah. Really gross. And that, you know... Essentially, her mother punished her for being so attractive by defeminizing her.
Right.
In a
so she shaved her head.
She shaved her head and dressed her in boy clothes. So it sounds like she was the victim of someone who was already maybe psychotic and on drugs.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. They were both meth heads.
Right. They were both on drugs.
Wait,
so
did anybody else catch how the funny thing when the mom's like, he's like, oh, the mother never smoked because she was worried about her teeth. But yet you're smoking meth?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
He didn't want her teeth to get yellow. That's really funny, actually.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of little funny things like that in this episode. I don't think I wrote any of them down. But I feel like I laughed a lot this time. It was very silly.
It was. There were some cute, silly comments.
Yeah.
And, so they realized that because Carmen survived and she was where was she in the house? That helped her
the storm
cellar. Helped her survive the flames. So at 15 years old, she essentially burned her mom alive.
Right. She was psychotic.
She was able to get rid of her mom and then kind of repeats this grotesque, it's not even a fantasy, it's a ritual, exactly, of defeminizing these women.
It's when they like set her off.
Yes, exactly. When she gets triggered to kill these women and to do to them what was done to her.
Right. And they all look like her mom. They're all like Latina, pretty.
Long hair.
And
it's like reenacting this ritual.
Right.
Of like punishing her mother in some way for what she did to her. It's interesting.
Creepy.
It's plausible. I don't know about in these circumstances.
Right. It's a little dramatic.
It's very dramatic. One of the things we don't get answered is how does Carmen find out who Becca is in relation to Molly Parker?
Well, remember she dropped her off.
She sees them talking to one another. And is it just because the niece says Auntie Molly?
Yeah,
like that in that 5 second that she sees them, she puts it all together and goes stalking Becca.
I mean, I think, and then Becca like fit her demo, her little thing.
True.
She's like, ooh, Latino, long hair, great. Let's do this. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even think she cared if Becca was related or not.
Yeah,
I think she
knew her.
Becca just set her off because when she was arguing with the daughter about the dress, and she went with the daughter's side, and she's like, okay, you can go.
So
now.
that was like something that set her off, and Becca fit the profile.
Right.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
So she
Mom.
So she gets Becca in the parking lot with the crutch.
That was probably my favorite scene. I did not expect that at all.
No, I didn't either.
In the middle of the day, nobody.
Middle of the day.
Nobody
Middle of the day.
sees.
No one sees it. No one stops
Can't.
it.
It's like an
Going
episode
everywhere.
of Clue.
Pretty much. It was Becca in the parking lot with the crutch. I liked the scene though with the cans like going everywhere and kind of the close up on her face. But it was true. It's like, would not anyone notice? Like the beautiful woman falling to the ground?
Right.
No.
I mean, she didn't scream or anything.
Being smacked on the head by another beautiful woman.
Right.
So I would notice. But also, isn't a crutch kind of light? I feel like
if it hits you in the head, though, the metal part, I mean, that's gotta
I just
knock
feel
you
like
down.
crutches don't make a great weapon. They're supposed to be light so you can carry them around when you're disabled.
Right.
Right?
There's a reason it's not one of the weapons in Clue.
Yes. Yeah, like a candlestick holder is much deadlier than a crutch.
I mean, I guess it is kind of bulky and big and long, and you could do some damage with it, I don't know.
And the whole, like, monkey bread and the cinnamon, like, kind of out there.
Do you think it was poisoned, the one that
bread?
she made? Yeah.
No. I think she likes...
It totally reminded me of my mom. Like, I'm from Texas. I think I've said that before. And my mom makes monkey bread.
Really?
I don't like it at all.
So this is a Texas thing?
I mean, I guess. I mean,
I like
she
monkey
makes
bread.
it. I don't like it because I don't like sweet bread, but...
You don't like sweets?
Yeah, I don't like
So
sweets.
everyone knows
right?
Sarah didn't eat the cookies that someone brought in our screening room. You did.
I did.
Candice did.
I did not. But yeah, and I thought that was funny that is it her partner or her boss, the guy that she was working with, like he just kind of disappeared after a certain time.
I know. What is he, the lieutenant? Or I don't know who he is. But yeah, he was like
in it with her.
He wanted to eat the monkey bread and then he disappeared.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
And she really, I mean, then another thing that I kind of have an issue with is I don't like how quickly, I wish one of the killers would last multiple episodes.
Sure.
And it wouldn't be so, like, Molly figured that out in like 5 seconds. Like, oh, boom, she must be at her old house, And then
boom.
It's like, it's like, okay.
I think this show could be improved with maybe little talking boxes where it just goes boom on the side every time she figures it out.
That would be fun.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah, like Robin Hood and Batman, like
it's,
old school style.
It's true. She really figures things out.
That would be really good.
It would
Little
be
cartoon
funny.
anime.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because things happen in an unrealistic time frame.
Right.
And we're expected to have the suspension of belief or disbelief, rather.
Right.
But it would help if it was maybe even cornier. You know what I mean?
Right.
To like carry us through. Because, for example, we were all saying that, Molly comes home and sees the note on Hailee's door, the daughter, and sees that her mom, Becca, has left the dress with a really nice note.
Right.
And we're all thinking, she was just a hostage.
Right.
I like how nobody noticed she was gone.
The daughter did because she said she'd been calling her mom.
She'd been calling her mom.
Yeah.
But the dads didn't. I mean, Dan and
the dads. Now they're a gay couple. I love it. That'd be great.
Hey, the guys that are shooting with their painted nails didn't notice.
Barbecuing.
Yeah, the sharpshooters that are busy with their ribs didn't notice. And here Molly is coming home and like, aw, isn't that sweet that Becca loves her daughter? Like, never mind that she was just assaulted by a psychotic maniac while she was tied up.
And she got her the skanky dress.
And she got her the
I didn't
skanky
like that
dress.
It was a skanky dress.
It did not fit her curves. I think the yellow one would be much
it's more age appropriate.
Well, she doesn't look, the girl that they got to play the daughter looks like
25.
25, yeah. So, I mean,
to get her that dress, she's going to be working with her dad, dancing on top.
Oh my God, father-daughter team.
Yeah, maybe they could start a business together.
And probably my favorite part of the episode was at the end when Dan is just basically waiting there to be Molly's sex slave. That was the best. He's been like, holed up in that room all night long. And just sitting there waiting. He's got his little
night bag with him, though. It's like
he said he was going to go
next to him, and he's waiting on the bed, and she opens the door, and he like springs up.
Right.
You got to get me out of here.
And he's like, funny. Never mind.
Yeah. So she does the obvious thing that she does every time, which is take her clothes off.
Right. And jump on top of him.
Which we're not opposed to at all.
No.
I don't think. This panel approves.
Yeah.
It's definitely, it's usually the highlight of the episode.
And the poor thing has been like abused all day.
She's been through so much.
Yeah. She and him. So.
I know. But I mean, it's just funny that he could hang out with the family all day and like wouldn't insist to go home. Like he must be having a great time.
Right.
Yeah. Because as much as he says he's being tortured.
No, he seemed like he was liking it.
He's clearly having a good time.
Yeah.
But then you just wonder, like, where's this relationship going?
Right.
It must be getting pretty serious.
Yeah, he was asking personal questions about like how they grew up and all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm surprised that she let her guard down enough to like get busy.
Yeah.
I'm just glad the ex-husband was not in this episode again.
He's
lucky.
Is he gone forever? I don't know.
Hope so.
So I wonder how those counseling sessions are working.
Right.
All kinds of unfinished business.
What's going on there?
Wow. Well, I mean, that pretty much takes us to the end of our episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have any news and gossip?
I don't.
We don't. No news and gossip, just predictions?
Yeah.
All right.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Candice.
I think that Becca's husband, hottie number one,
Billy.
What is his name? Billy. I'm still on Team Billy. I don't think he's doing anything wrong. But again, my men instinct is not there. But I just, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he's trying to help out his family. I don't think has some little hood rat on the side or anything. No.
I'm thinking Chippendales for Billy for sure.
Okay.
And then I think we're gonna see the ex-husband next week.
Okay.
At least before this whole thing ends.
Yeah.
Which we only have 2 more episodes in?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna see that. And I don't know. I don't even know what. All we know about next week is a pro athlete is killed, right?
Yes.
So
it's a basketball player.
Yeah, a woman scorned, I guess.
There's going to where there's an athlete, there is a jersey chaser.
That's
a
true.
nice way to put it.
That is nice.
So I predict there is a pro and a pro-ho involved in next week's episode.
Nice.
I really would like to see that Billy and Becca get on the same page,
Right.
whatever that is. But I'm not sure it will be so friendly.
Do you think we'll ever find out what his
I
other
honestly
work is?
don't know. I don't think we're going to get a chance to be honest, because it's going to be such a short season.
Right.
But I would like to know.
Yeah, me too.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
ABC?
Yeah.
we
Let us
wanna
know. And
Please.
fans, you let us know.
Yeah.
So where can the fans find you, Candice?
The fans can find me on Instagram at Candy Buen, Candie Buen, and also on Twitter, Candy Buen.
I hate when I have to follow her because my name is so boring.
Tell us, Sarah.
I'm on Twitter at Sarah on the Go, Sarah with an H, and on Instagram I'm SarahBear627.
Awesome. And I'm Oriana Leo. You can find me on Twitter at Miss Oriana Leo or Instagram at Oriana Leo. You can always find me on Facebook or my YouTube channel. I'm getting that going, which is youtube.com/Oriana Leo. Thank you, everyone out there. And from us on the Killer Women After Show, we appreciate you. We'll see you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.